Welcome and welcome back to How to Build a TV Show Without a Studio.
Yes.
My name is Imeldha. I'm a writer, director, producer, and professional side girl both in emotion and social anxiety. This is Michael Iloni Hona.
And I am a writer, director, and I also have Bugs Bunny on my shirt.
Well done, you do. We are two filmmakers passionate about making stories, and we're trying to figure out how to make them and how to get people to see them.
Yes.
So what is today's episode?
I've forgotten again. The date today's episode is how we're going to say it together.
No, you can say it.
How to find your voice as a writer. How to find your voice as a writer. I feel like it's a really long thing. Today's episode is called How to Find Your Voice as a Writer for Q&A.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, hey, man. You know, I'm out here, man. I work hard.
So if you haven't yet, check out our last episodes. They are on our YouTube. We can link them below. We're on the journey to find out how to build a TV show without a studio.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just want you guys to come along to the journey.
Yeah.
Donate to our Kickstarter. We'll link that below as well. If you like our vibe, subscribe. And we're super excited to have you along with the journey.
We really are.
Do you want to drop us a disclaimer?
The disclaimer is very simple today. As I always say, you know, this is just based on mine and Imelda's experience in the film industry. We are giving you nuggets of information, but this is in no means a 5 or 10 or 15 way step thing. You know, we don't believe in the 5-10 steps for anything. We just want to give you as much information as possible, so hopefully you can take it and it can be a little part of your own journey.
Yeah.
So don't take anything we say as Bible. We are humans and we get things wrong, and some of the things we say you might not agree with, and that's okay.
Amen.
Yeah, man. Everyone dead.
Notification bell.
No, first week.
Subscribe. Mondays are out. I mean, episodes are out every Monday and Thursday.
Hello, everyone. Here to tell you that episodes are out on Monday and Thursday. On Mondays, we have our lovely chats between me and Imelda. On Thursdays, we have interviews with lots of different individuals from the film industry. So make sure to put that notification bell on and to subscribe and to share with a friend. Thank you so much. For real.
Okay, so we're essentially today talking about lots of FAQs that we get as writers.
Yeah, for real.
Which is kind of like a follow-on from our last episode.
Yeah.
Where we were just sort of talking about how to find your voice as a writer.
100.
And we'll have a question and we'll both answer it from our own perspectives. And yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you can start.
Let's go with, how did you get into the industry? That's my first question. That's one that everyone asks, you know. How did you do it? How did you get into the film industry? What's your answer to that?
So I was in the fashion industry for a while. I studied fashion styling and production at uni. I wanted to be a creative director of a fashion and or a fashion photographer.
Nice.
I then went on to work at loads of different fashion shows, doing lots of different fashion productions. I worked for a fashion production company where they put on different fashion shows in the different fashion capitals.
All the fashion capitals.
Yeah, and that was wild.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's kind of what I was doing.
It was a good job.
It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that's what I was doing before kind of film. And while I was in uni, for my final major project, I did a series called TripTips.
Yes.
And I wrote, that's my first time writing a script.
Can we find that anywhere?
No.
Couldn't find it on YouTube or anything?
No.
So if I typed in TripTips alone, it wouldn't be on YouTube. No problem.
No. No, so it's not on YouTube. It's nowhere. So I wrote the script and I just sort of it was like you and Rish and got people together to kind of help me. I styled it and made sort of a story that was a bit more...
It was like a fashion film,
It's kind of like a fashion film-ish, but with a bit of a narrative.
With a narrative.
And I think I was always really fascinated with narrative. I got into fashion film in uni and I was super excited by moving image and things like that. So I tried to incorporate a lot of that in my photography and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I was in the art department, and
Yeah.
then I worked on a film called Hilda,
Yes.
with our friend.
Yeah. Rishi Pelham, shout out Rishi.
Rish, yeah. And he brought me on board as the wardrobe department, as the costume designer, and we sort of did that, and that was kind of like my introduction into film, and that film did really well.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you started writing Purple.
Yeah.
And then you sort of brought me on board as the costume person initially. Then I went up to artistic director.
Yeah. And we were basically making it together.
And then we were making it together because you were just like asking me loads of questions, and I was like finding the answers
and we were
and
just
stuff.
producing. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I kind of worked my way up as a producer, and then we started Hort Honor, which is our production company.
Yeah.
And I think from there, I wrote a pilot script called Boss Man, which was my first ever writing.
Boss Man's really good.
My first ever writing kind of script.
Yeah, it was your first pilot.
Yeah, and I really wanted to be in TV more so than film. I think I was definitely a TV babe. And I did that, and I think I just sort of snowballed from there. I think just like I wrote a TV pilot, and I was like, well, how do I get this TV pilot on TV? And I think that's sort of how I got into the
Into the film industry.
Into the film industry. Yeah. How about you? How did you get into the film industry?
I've
always been in the film industry.
I mean, no, definitely not. But I feel like similar to you, I was, so I wanted to be a musician. So I was really into like music and drama. I thought I was going to be like a musician or an actor.
You were supposed to be John Mayer.
Yeah. I was supposed to be like John Mayer or like Labyrinth or like John Bellion.
Right, yes.
Like I was either going to be producing music or I was going to be doing singer-songwriting stuff. Or
you were either going to be like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Or you were going to be
John Bellion. Yeah. So it's kind of in between those, but then alas, that didn't happen. And I was really into acting. I'd been doing drama all my life. I'd been doing like a musical theatre kid and kind of moved all the way up there. Then I did film and drama at uni, and I'd never really thought about film as a career. Maybe acting, but I didn't really connect acting to film. I never really thought about I was never really like the kid with the camera.
Right. I also feel, sorry to interject there, but I also feel a bit like that when I sort of went from fashion to film.
Yeah.
Where it was like a lot of the film like buffs have like the cameras and they're like, oh yeah.
And make short films with their kids and stuff.
Yeah, whereas I was like, this is a cute color.
Yeah, and I just never really I think I was really music heavy, and acting I really loved because I think it was a cool way to get out my emotions, and it was a really cool way to express myself. But yeah, I think I got to uni, I started getting more into film. I did some screenwriting courses, I did some directing courses, and I found that I think it was like David Butler, who's my lecturer and one of my closest friends, was like, I think he was kind of pushing me into lightly kind of just going we were talking about Spike Lee and all this kind of, and I was like, I think I might want to do film. And he's like, I think you'd be great in that. And I think it kind of became more apparent to me that maybe film is something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And directing was a cool way to kind of
incorporate
music and writing and acting and my love for vision, because I loved movies, but I loved particular movies. I'm a film buff because of film school, so I've watched Space Odyssey and all of the Kubrick films and Alfred Hitchcock and all that stuff. I've watched all the movies, but I'm more interested in the fringe stuff. I'm more interested in the Wayans brothers or Coming to America or Nutty Professor, or kind of my taste is quite particular, like it is in music anyway. But yeah, so I think I ended up making a couple movies, making a couple films while I was in uni. I made a really short shit film, which you can't find anywhere because it's on my hard drive.
What's the name of that?
It's called Hide, which I also made with Rishi, who's one of my best mates. And we ended up making Hilda. And all together as a community, it was because we were just filmmakers. We were just kids who had tried to make a movie, and then same thing. And then we just decided to make our own production company. And then I started to really figure out that I wanted to be like Edgar Wright, and I was really into Steven Spielberg stuff, and I really wanted to make magical realism and fantasy and sci-fi and musicals. I wanted to make epics. That was kind of my focus with film and television. And then we got signed to Christina, and then we made Halfway, and we've been working. We've done done jobs with like Netflix and stuff, and
Yeah.
that's now we're in the midst of it, which is cool.
So another question we get a lot is, how do we work together?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to start that?
Do you want to answer it?
Yeah. I think that's cool. How do we work together? I think it's really easy because I mean, like, so like people won't know, but like me and Imelda have known each other since we were 17.
17, yes.
So
I met Michael when he was 7. Well,
Yeah.
no. Yes.
Yeah, you met me when I was
Yes,
17.
because I gave you a cake for your 18th birthday.
Yeah, and then we got together when I was 18.
Yeah, and I just turned 18.
Yeah, so we got together around being 18. But I think, so I think when I was solely a musician, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make an EP called Heartstrings,
Which is amazing.
which you
by the
also
way.
can't find online.
I loved it. I thought it was stunning.
And
Stunning.
but like, and this is when we were friends. We were best mates before we ever got together. But we ended up just like I remember asking you to just like put a poem.
Yeah, you
on
asked me for poems.
on my project.
Yes, because I write poems.
Yeah. I think there's probably a video somewhere of a poem that you did that me and you were performing together.
No.
I think that's somewhere on the internet. There's somewhere.
Do you think?
It's on someone's phone.
Oh no, because
Maybe on mine.
No, I didn't. I never performed the poems.
Yeah.
I think you might have.
No, I mean alive, like the poem from later on of like us performing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's probably somewhere.
That's on the internet somewhere.
But yeah. No, Mel never performed a poem on my EP. And she wrote them and I read them out, and so we'd kind of always been locked in from there.
I guess we sort of always knew that we were both creative in a way.
Yeah, and I think
we in the Manning building in St. Charles. Like,
everyone
there's creative.
Everyone
so
there's creative, and everyone there's also doing really great stuff.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why I say the EP stuff is because I think it's really vulnerable to be able to share like poetry, or to share music, and be like, hey, would you be able to like conjoin both of our art forms together? And we'd done it really early without even knowing that that's what we were going to do for our careers.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, he was just a guy from my college that was my friend.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And just like someone that I respect.
Like, I think my friend's a good poet. Oh, could I use your poems?
Yeah.
But I think
which I really appreciated, by the way,
Yeah.
because I was like, didn't really share my poetry a lot.
Yeah.
So having you, I don't know how you even found out that I did poetry, but having you say that, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
And then going, I'm going to put it on my EP.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, oh my God, that's so nice.
But I think likewise, being able to be told yes when you're going, oh, I think someone's really talented, you're amazing, and you've got great writing, can I use it? And you're like, oh yeah. It's the same thing as well. Where it's like, and also when you're like, oh, I really like the song, it's like it's sharing vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I think we write well together and we work together because I think number one, we respect each other.
Yeah.
I think you're one of the best writers in this country. Like I think you're knocking all of these people out of the water. People, genuinely, I really do believe that. I think you're a great writer, and I think you have really great sensibilities, and I think you also have a really good understanding of the world around writing, not just like the final draft stuff. I think you understand structure. I think you understand how to build, how to take things away. Like I think you're a great person to work with.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I think that like working together has been really easy. Because we've been friends for so long, and I think we trust each other with like our hearts and our vulnerability, and we know each other. So I think like particularly like even with writing unwritten, I think that this is probably the hardest thing that we've ever written together because comedy, and I think mainly that's because it's comedy, and comedy's so fucking hard to get right. But I think the reason why we got to the end of it and have written 6 episodes of 12 is because we were able to just be like, okay, cool. We know the heart of the thing that we're writing. And even with Halfway, when we were writing that, I think we knew the heart of what it was. And we were like, this is what we're getting at. And I think we're not going to get in the way of that. Yeah. I think we're just going to champion each other to get there. So I think that's why we're good at writing together. I think it's particularly because we're so close. But I think it's just how our DNAs have been merged together. I don't think it's like a cookie cutter thing where you can just put other people in and it works. Yeah,
I think my sort of answer to that question of how do we work together, I think, well.
Yeah.
One, I also think that we value each other's opinion.
Yeah.
So I think when I've created something, like I don't know, like kids do.
Yeah.
When you create something and you share it and
Yeah.
you're like, hey, look, I made this thing.
Yeah.
I do that to you.
Yeah.
And you do that to me.
Yeah.
And I think that like that is really like beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that's I think that's how we kind of move forward,
Yeah.
I think, with working together, because we're just sharing and we're being very gentle with each other's like sharing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. 100%.
So I think that's why we work very well together.
I completely agree.
Because we're very like kind of
we're gentle with each other, and we respect each other
but also
as well.
like sometimes I think we can be a bit like, I never question your intention.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I never
and
question yours either.
When I'm like, can that?
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like
you're
for the best. It's for the best of you.
Yeah.
But I think we're gentle with each other, but we're also not scared to tell each other the truth.
Yeah.
Like I don't bullshit you. I think I'm just like, okay, hey, like you can do better, or this joke doesn't work, or we need. And we had that a lot in Unwritten, and also because we're like, we love each other, but also we're very competitive and we're also very like passionate. There was loads of moments in Unwritten where like we would have like Mexican standoffs. You know what I mean? You'd be in the kitchen and I'd be in the living room. I'm like, I'm not moving. My joke is the best. Do you know what I mean? And we'd have to. But I think one thing that also makes writing really good is the rule that we have, where it's like, you know, unless we both agree, we can't move forward. Sounds really simple, but like if there's no room for like conceding,
compromise,
there's no room for compromise.
Because I'm the compromise queen. And I will just be like, it's fine. Well, I guess the conceding queen.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, it's fine. Let's just move on. It's fine. Just do what you want.
Yeah.
Just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Just let's go with what you want.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I just want to move forward.
100%.
But I think that it's really amazing that you can be like, no.
Yeah.
Let's like,
we have to.
If you don't like it, then we have to like.
And also like not being scared to like scrap ideas. I think that's thing. I think working together has allowed us to not be so precious with our work.
Because I never used to draft.
Yeah.
I used to hate
drafting.
I
Used to
thought
hate
that,
it.
yeah.
And I was like, it's not fun, but it's something that you have to do. And I think as soon as we started working together, and I was like, because of how my brain works, maybe because I've got a lot of self-loathing, I'm like, this can be better, this can be better, this can be better. So as soon as we got into that, we were able to manage it.
What was really funny, was when I would, so for example, when we first started writing, this is us writing separately.
Yeah.
I would get notes.
Yeah.
And I would like maybe...
What, for me?
No.
Just notes in general?
Notes in general. Maybe actually particularly for you. And I would like change, like, people would be like, oh, do a draft. And I'd like change one line.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that's draft number 2.
Yeah. And it's like...
But then I think when you would get notes, you would just completely change
I'd
the
rip
entire
up the whole thing.
And then you'd make a new story.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait.
And the note would just be on a line as well. And I'd be like, okay, now we've got to rip the whole thing out. And I think we found the kind of yin and yang in that, which was in for both of us.
Yeah.
And I also think working in writers' rooms, like being able to work with like American writers' rooms, or be able to like work on halfway for as long as we did, which was like a 2-year job.
Yeah.
Like I think we really learned the benefit of drafting and craft. And that leads me into my next question. I was going to ask you, like, what do you, keep moving this mic, what do you think, what is your craft? Like, I think that's the question. How do you work on your craft, and what is your craft?
How do I work on my craft? Gosh. Oh, I feel like I have a few different crafts. But with particularly writing, how do I work on writing? You just have to write.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think one of the...
Like genuinely.
Like actually, like, right, I think there's been a few like friends that have sort of said, oh, how do you kind of like write? And it's like, well, you have to do it.
Yeah. For real, you got to start.
You have to write.
Yeah.
I think when you get up the final draft or the Celtics, if that's still around, or the Word even, you just put words down on the page of what you see. You have to write, but also read. Yeah. You have to read other scripts. You have to understand format and know how action is sort of like made. Read scripts that haven't come out, but read scripts that have come out and compare them to the actual thing that you've seen. So I did that with Mean Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I did that with Fleabag. I did that with like multiple different Ladybird.
Yeah.
Like loads of different projects where you read the scripts and I'm watching the movie and I'm like, okay, I see how that's been translated. I see how that kind of works. So that's how I kind of work on craft. Again, like when I watch things, I try to dissect it as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I try to say, how can you do that? Or how can you do, I listen to the lines and I'm like, oh, that was a good line. Or like, oh, that's a clunky line.
Yeah.
Was it performance?
Yeah.
Or was it the line itself?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a multitude of different things that you have to do in order to keep getting better and keep writing, because you do improve the way that you sort of like engage with work. I also I don't just read scripts, I also read lots of non-fiction. I read fiction, I read articles to engage with the different tones of things.
For real.
So that I can incorporate that in what I do, essentially.
That's really good.
So I guess that's how I work on my writing craft, particularly reading and writing and watching.
Fair enough.
That's
good.
That's everything. What about you? How do you work on your craft?
I think that it always kind of comes from the things that I am really passionate about and the projects that I really enjoy. So like I really enjoy Hook, the Steven Spielberg movie with Robin Williams. There's a feeling that it makes me feel, and then I'm always trying to like emulate that. I think I said that in the last podcast as well about like, you know, music and going like, oh, I get a feeling from it and then I want to like emulate it. Like I think I watch stuff, I enjoy it, and then I go, how do you as Michael, how are you able to emulate that in your own work? So I think I start in that space, and then I think I would just study a lot. So I think I watch a lot of stuff.
You're a watcher.
I think I watch.
You watch a lot of stuff.
I think I watch more than I read, but I think it's because of ADHD, and sometimes reading can be a little bit like it can stop creative process. But I will read scripts. To be fair, I will read scripts next to the scripts that I'm writing. So I'll have like scripts open. So if I've got a script that I feel like is similar to Scott Pilgrim, I'll have Scott Pilgrim open while I'm reading my script, and I'll just have a look at the scenes and be like, okay, cool, that's how he's structuring the writing. And then I'll do that as I'm writing. But I think for craft overall, I think like we said, like kind of figuring out your why. I'm now at that point where I'm trying to talk to 7-year-old Michael. I'm trying to make those magic realism films and those Disney movies and those family movies and those like big genre epic movies that made me feel a certain type of way. So now that I understand what that why is, I think all I'm trying to do is consume those feelings, and I think sometimes part of it is reading, but also I think that I'm finding that I'm writing better when I'm actually like touching grass, like when I'm going outside and I'm like being in spaces with my friends, or I'm hanging out with you in a non-work situation, or going to the cinema, or just like hanging out, like doing life experiences makes me a better writer. So I've been doing that.
That's definitely true. Also a better conceptualizer. Because it just sort of like, I don't know, breeds kind of new and exciting ideas that you didn't ever really sort of think, or gags particularly. I think living
for comedy, outside,
living helps gags.
100%. Like I said, I was on the phone to my friend James, and we saw this dog that was like barking at. I was on the phone. Me and James were walking together, and we saw this dog that was barking at this guy in a wheelchair, and he was like, and his owner was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," and he's like, "Wow, wow," and she wouldn't move it away. And then we were like, "Oh, an ableist dog. That's really funny." And it came up with a joke about the dog being ableist. And that's just like, that came from being outside. Because it's like, I would never have been able to see a dog and then be like, "Oh, that could be a funny skit, an ableist dog." But so that's a funny thing. And but yeah, I also think that sometimes with craft and stuff, it's also really important to do the shit jobs. And I think sometimes the things that people that I know that I haven't enjoyed is the technicality stuff, and I've learned to love it. So I've learned to love how to structure, learning different type of like character arcs, learning like story cycles.
You're really like like almost horribly militant actually with it now more.
Yeah, because I think
whereas
understanding
you weren't like that before, and
Yeah.
now I think you're like, what's your structure? And it's like, oh my god.
Well, no, genuinely, because I think that like if you're just telling a story that has no structure, then then cool, that could be cool, and it could end up being really good. But I think sometimes those movies like Before Sunrise and those movies that don't have the full structure. Boyhood, those writers and those directors have understood what the structure is to be able to then play outside of it. It's like jazz pianists. Do you know what I mean? There's an amazing jazz pianist called Hiromi Urara, and she plays like phenomenally. She can do everything, but she's gotten to this point, me and Richie say this a lot, where you get to this point where you understand the technicality of music so much that now you're just playing with it. But if you don't understand the fragments, you can't play.
Yeah.
And I think that, so I'm always trying
you can't justify the fact that your work is outside of the fragments.
Because
you don't actually know the fragments.
Yeah, so it's really important to know what a 3-act structure is and a 5-act structure, and why you don't like a 3-act structure, or why, a tragedy should have a 5-act structure. Or like if you're having a tragedy but you want it to be a road film, what's the structure going to be like? What's the structure of a road film? What's the structure of a basic drama, structures of a thriller? I think those things are really important for me to understand my mind.
And sometimes you don't have to, like Michael said, like, I'm a rom-com fanatic and I didn't read anything about rom-com structures, but I know them off head. Because
you watch them all.
I just watch them all.
You know the difference between lover to hate. The lovers to hate trope.
Yeah.
You know the
enemies to lovers.
Enemies to lovers. You know the kind of
the best friend to lovers.
The best friend to lover. You know the quiet girl, the Cinderella trope. You know, like there's
quiet girl.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of them. You know, the love triangles. There's so many different types of them. You know, the new age, the young age, and a lot of that just comes from watching them. But I think you've got to understand and be analyzing the form. And with art, I believe that we should always be analyzing form, like musicians or artists do, where it's like, they look at paintings and then Jackson Pollock comes and everyone's like, whoa, he's done something to the form, but we need to understand the form.
Last question. Do you feel like you are still going to be writing in 10 years?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do. I've got a lot of stuff.
I got a lot of stuff in this noggin.
I've got a lot of stuff that I want to make, and I think that I need a studio to be able to do some of them. Like wow. I've got like series to make, and I want to like I said, like, there's things like The Walking Dead that are like my favorite shows, or like This Is Us. There's things and like Friends, or like A Different World. There's things like that I never really thought I was going to be a television guy, but there's some stuff that I'm like, I want to have this go on for a long standing 10 years, so it becomes something that makes generational wealth for loads of people. You create families on there where people are like, this is my thing, and this is my job for the next 10 years. And you give opportunities to people to come in and I want to do those jobs. Yeah. But I also want to make animation movies. I want to make live action movies. So I do think I'm going to be writing in 10 years. Yeah. Because I think it is the tool that I'm able to express myself the best.
Wow.
Yeah. What about you?
I love that. That was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But I think that's something that's really interesting. I think I found that like writing has become the best way to express myself. I think music is about like passion and like feeling and like just what's ever happening in the moment. But that's not like the best way to express myself. The best way to express myself is through characters and story and world and time. And like I really enjoy that process, even though it's painstaking. Directing, I think, is another passion of mine, but that happens after the writing process. And I really want to, I don't really know what the experience is like yet to direct someone else's work, because I always direct my own, but I think it all starts with writing. And I think that the craft of writing is the thing that I've worked on the most and the thing I'm most proud of. Like that's the thing I put in the ring and be like, I bet on my writing. You know what I mean? So I feel confident in that. What about you?
What was the question?
Do you think you'll be writing in 10 years?
10 years from now would be
2025?
2035.
2035.
Wow. Probably.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'll be writing Yes, still, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably will be writing, yeah.
That's cool.
A plethora of things.
Yeah.
I think I probably will have books.
Yeah.
As well as scripts.
Yeah, because I think
series,
books are something that you really want to verge into.
I think that's definitely
fiction and non-fiction.
Yeah, definitely fiction, non-fiction. 2035.
You're definitely going to be writing. It's in your bones.
Yeah, I think I'll still be writing.
Yeah. Final question. Obviously, we decided to write something completely independently, and that's unwritten, and we're on the process to doing that. What advice would you give to someone that has an idea and wants to just make it, but is scared about, whether they should or not? What advice would you give them?
Find your community.
Nice.
I think that's the best thing I can probably advise anyone, would be to find a person or a group of people or a team to share that idea with and say, what do you think?
Yeah.
That's it. Do you know anyone that would be interested in helping me or looking at this or seeing this?
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't make films on your own.
Yeah.
You can't make TV on your own.
Yeah.
You can't do it. There's no way that you're doing that.
Yeah.
You have to have another person there to be like, whether they're your DOP, they're your producer, they're a co-writer, they're the costume person. You need another person to be like, oh yeah, I like this. And find your community. People, even like friends that will be like, oh, I'd watch this,
Yeah, for real.
And you can find people anywhere.
For real.
We live in the age of the internet. You can find them anywhere.
Yeah.
They can be global.
Because people want to work.
People want to work. People want to read. People want to watch. People want to engage with content.
Yeah.
So it is about finding your community, and that's again one of the reasons why we're doing this.
For real.
We're trying to find our community.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing. That's the best advice I can give without before saying brush up on your craft.
Yeah.
Or before saying, oh, watch more stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Find the community, because they will watch you grow and they will help you get better if you're not at that point already.
And if I could piggyback off of that, find a community and make something small. Find a community and just make something for 5 minutes. Fuck the craft, fuck the reading, forget all of that.
Yeah.
Like, just make something really small and get with a community of people and be like, we just want to make something for 5 minutes, and just try with those people. Because I think there's a real benefit in working when you're and learning when you're working. And I'd also say, as a last bit of advice, is be shameless.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten really far in our careers, even with this How to Make a TV Show with a Studio. There's been so many people that have helped us, to Buster Gut Productions, who are sponsoring us, and shout out to them. Like, be shameless, man. Like, you've got one life. Go and ask people and do the scary thing.
That's what you make it.
So let's make it rock. You got to go to people and be like, hey, can you do this? And they'll say no, and then go to someone else, because it's so beneficial.
Yeah, the worst thing that someone can do is say no.
Yeah, man. And the best thing they can do is say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Subscribe.
If you like our vibe.
If you like our vibe, please go down to the Kickstarter, put some money down, help us. We're looking for 20,000 people. Help us find that 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Man.
Tune in next week. We've got lots more interviews and chats and great stuff coming up. Watch our last videos if you haven't yet.
And comment as well. Like, let us know how you feel about the How to Make a TV Show Without a Series. How that series is going, and let us know what you think.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you guys so much.
What's your bad?
Do I get?
Wow.